Hello, everybody. In this episode, I'm going to explain to you the step number 2. It's called auto reply. In this step, what is going to happen is that we are going to have what we call the big market pool of $1,000, about 1,000 people, bring down to so-called 100 people based on the first screening layer we put in, which is based on the ad, based on the pictures, based on the location, the details we put into the ad to allow the proper prospects into the next step, which is going to be send us the email and asking to reply. So this is basically the steps where we go from so-called 1,000 pool of potential market down into so-called 100 people. This is based on what we call the first screening or prospecting, and that is pretty much been done on how you set up the ad properly. And from this step to so-called auto reply, what that means is in our system, we set up an auto email to every single email inquiry, so that for this 100 people who send us the email, say, here, I'm interested in more information, and I'd like to learn more about the property. What is going to happen is our software is going to send an email to this 100 people automatically with all the details, including how to contact, what's the detail of the property, how to view it, and how to apply it, and how to call us or get in touch with us if you have any further questions. And this actually also serves what we call screening number 2. So this is the second layer of the screening. Why is that? Let's just think about this. When you have this automatic email to reply, people who are really motivated and think this is going to be a great property for their future home, what they will do, the highly motivated people will check into this email in detail and trying to follow up as what they are trying, as what they follow up to do the viewing, applying, whatever they need to do. And on the contrary, for the people who are less interested, just kind of going online, reply, yeah, I'm interested, send me more information. For people like those kind of, we call it fishing around, doesn't really that keen to find anything. Do they actually even bother to go the next step? Maybe, maybe not. You don't know, depending on the situation. So by having this automated system allow us to see the motivation level of the people and see if they are going to go the next step. And that by itself serves as a second layer of screening. So that is very, very important. And we often get asked questions by, okay, now I got this email. I know there's a automated email already been sent to the prospects, and people send me, because you will get a copy of that email as well. So that's just for your information. But then people say, okay, do I actually reply this email, or should I just leave it to the automatic system? I think the answer at this point is depends. And here is why. Let's just draw a quick picture like this. So this is what we call motivated or motivation level. And the more the higher, obviously. And this is less, and this is the kind of the people, the number of the people. So there is basically 3 zones we can divide them into. And the so-called the first, so this is what we call high motivated people. Regardless you reply their email or not manually, those people are very likely going to check out the auto reply email, follow the instruction, book the viewing, apply, and do whatever they need to do, get in touch with you. Okay, so this is highly motivated people. But you do have the people, as I call it, lower, or in another sense, undesirable. Or the better word, I can call it desperate. Quite often, you may also see the situation where when people getting very desperate, they just pretty much putting on anything they get their hands on, get any straw they trying to grab on. So those people could also jump onto the reply email and follow up, even book the viewing. But that actually is good because by go through that step to book up the viewing, they actually already disqualified and disposed their ability if they are qualified or not, which make the screening we are going to explain to the next video that is a lot easier. So this is not a concern either. So you reply or not, they are going to apply or they are going to ignore. So this is not an issue. The real interesting part is the people in the middle. So this is the people. They may or may not follow up email depending on the situation. So they, in general, those are less motivated people, but depending on the situation, let's say if you are in high demanding market, there's many people looking for a place, and there are just less people. There are just less people trying to less property available, and that allows the people to become a bit more motivated to push into the zone that they are going to go to reply. Well, so that highly depending on the situation. And as the landlord, you do have the flexibility to decide if you going to reply or not. So let's say if you reply or not. So depending on how comfortable you are in terms of the next level of people reply, say once people emailed, how many people are actually booked viewing? If in the next few days, few weeks, there's very few people to book viewing, then you know you probably need to put your efforts on replying the text message so that there will be more people get involved into the next stage. If you get many replies on the viewing and so on, so you know the chances are not only this section people are interested in, you also have more and more people interested in this section. So really, in that situation, reply or not doesn't make a whole difference. So that is basically the strategy I would recommend you to kind of watch in the first 1 week or 2 and find out how the market responds to this property. If there's money inquiries, there's tons of viewing being booked, then chances are you don't need to spend too much time to actually manually to reply to those people. to those email inquiries because every single one of them already got email with all the information they need. What you are trying to do is just a gentle nudge on them. Say, hey, I did receive your information, and here is the link. But if you have very few in that next 1 or 2 weeks, then you may want to consider send the manual reply in this stage so that you increase the number to go to the next level. And the very last thing I'd like to talk about is if you decided to reply, here is I would like to recommend keep it short and sweet. And basically, all you need to do are 2 things. Number 1, only reply by text message, meaning you will only reply to the place where to the email where they have the text their cell phone attached. In that way, you don't repeating yourself because email reply doesn't make too much sense because every email is already been replied. And text message also allow you to control the conversation in a reasonable level of interaction without spending too much time. And so first rule is text message is recommended only. And the second is called a link. When you receive our product, you will get a link called book viewing link. All you need to do in the text message is telling people this. You say, yes, I received your inquiry on this property. Thank you very much. Here is the link to book the viewing as per your request. That is all. And you just attach that link to the text message and send it over. That's all you need to do, less than maybe 1 minute. And in most of the cases, that should taken care of everything else so that people are interested in, they have the link and they can go ahead to apply. If they are not interested in, that's the end of story. You don't need to spend too much time on the people who are not really interested. So that is basically how this whole auto reply system works. Thank you very much.